Hello everyone, today I'm going to be working on removing the shift knob and shift boot. Since I haven't been able to continue working on suspension on the Cobalt because of the Harbor Freight jack stand recall, the other night decided to take off the carbon fiber wrap that the previous owner had put on the door handle bezels or switches, and I decided to jump on eBay. And when I was looking for new used door handles, I ran into a seller that was selling a replacement shift boot and shift knob for the Cobalt. As you guys can see on the old one, it's pretty much faded out or deteriorated already, where the fake pleather is flaking everywhere. It also flakes in the center console and it just looks pretty bad. This thing's already run its course. When I was searching on YouTube for replacement videos, there wasn't really much. There was a lot of videos on replacing the shifter as a whole, just getting a whole new one, but nothing as far as like replacing the shift knob or the shift boot. The only one that came close was this guy who had a Saab 9.3, where he removed this little center cap right here, and then he had drilled a hole down the middle of the shift knob, and then he used a screw to tighten down, and that caused force to push up the shift knob, and it came off like that. Once you remove the shift knob, you need to be careful, because inside there's supposed to be like a little sponge in here and a spring which helps the reverse lockout, but mine unfortunately did not come with one. So once you take those off, you're going to be able to remove this little bezel that goes around this right here, and everything should come out. Okay, I got the shift boot loose. Now it's time just to pull it straight out, and there you go. And now back to the main reason why I was here in the first place. I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think? Should I go to like my local auto parts store and just get some of that GM gray that it's supposed to be? Or should I order some black ones, obviously used, from eBay? Tell me what you guys think at the bottom. Let's compare the old one and the new one. Obviously you guys already saw the old one when it was sitting inside the car. Flaky, falling apart and everything. Here's the new one. The new one feels good. It's your basic pleather shift boot. It already does come pre-cut. It has the holes for the old bezel that's on here, and I mean, nothing too special about it. It does come with a brand new zip tie, so that when you're ready to take off the old shift boot off of the reverse lockout, you're gonna have to snip the old zip tie that it has on it, so you can get the reverse lockout like that. Like I said before, you're going to have to reuse this bezel that came on the old shift boot. I was lucky enough that somebody already cut it off. So once you get it off, all you got to do is install it onto the new one. Okay, here is the shift boot installed onto the old bezel. I'm not going to glue it down or staple it or anything like that. I do plan on replacing this reverse lockout. As you can see, it's probably seen better days. I'm going to order one online. I've seen that the ones off of the Saab 9.3 are pretty much the same thing as these right here, so this is only temporary, so I'm not going to glue it down just yet, but I am going to zip tie the shift boot onto the reverse lockout. I flipped the boot inside out, so that way I can weave the zip tie in between right here, and then I'm going to get the reverse lockout and push it through. To install the reverse lockout, what you need to do is first find the wider side of the bezel of the shift boot. That one goes towards the front, like where the radio and the AC controls is at. And on the reverse lockout, there is a triangle to it, sort of. You can kind of see it right there. That also needs to go to the front. So to install the reverse lockout, you're going to go through the top of the shift boot that you have inside out and bring it in like this. And you got to get the zip tie kind of around that little groove where it was at before, and make sure it's seated right, and then just grab your zip tie and zip it down. Ooh, I gotta fix a little bit right here. There we go. And then just push through some more. There we go. nice and tight. And then what you're gonna do is grab some snips, cut it off like that, push it through, and there you go. Your shift boot's been installed to the reverse lockout, pointing in the right direction. Yeah! Alright, we are halfway home. So all we gotta do now is just lock down this bezel. I kind of started doing it right now because it's kind of hard for me to see through the screen and push it down. So let's just lock it in. Okay. Okay, there it is. Alright, so all I gotta do now is I do have a spring that I'm gonna put inside. So that way when it's sitting in that position, the spring is pushing up against the new shift knob and I'm able to lift, and then I'll be able to go into reverse. So I'm not gonna do that recording it because I don't want to show you guys the violence that I'm gonna do. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so I'm all done installing it. So to walk you through the steps that I used to install the shift knob. So what I did was I put the spring inside, I put the shift knob over, and then I used this blue microfiber cloth. I put it on top, and I used this 45-ounce dead blow, and I carefully tapped it down till I felt like it's seated, and then I just snapped the new shift knob cap on. So let's try it out. So pushing in the clutch, lift the spring. As you can see, it goes back down but by itself with force. Push it up over to reverse, and there it is. Alright guys, I'm all done here. If you guys like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really much appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.